It is still a place few people will ever see in their lives, but the effects of what is happening now in the Arctic are reaching out to every one of us, no matter where we live on the planet. The Arctic is coming to our backyards, and unless we and the rest of the world's people take urgent action, we will not like what it brings.
The more one realizes that this whole area is ultimately in huge threat, I need to work out a way of creating a sculpture that will just show the problems ahead. Sculpture is a language. Sculpture is a really powerful language. And as far as I'm concerned, this ice bear has got a very powerful message. To sculpt the Arctic, the beauty of the Arctic is one thing, but to sculpt the problem hanging over the Arctic, climate change, was vital if I was going to make a body of work that was even in any way honest.
Ladies and gentlemen, the whole mission that I had behind this ice bear was related to a trip that I did up in the high Arctic earlier this year. This might be in the form of a polar bear, but actually it's a sculpture of the Arctic. So you touch the bear, you touch the Arctic. You get a feel for what it's all about.
In the last 3 years, we've taken a number of business leaders, global leaders, social leaders, right to the very edge of the ice cap. And they've watched and heard as the ice crumbles off, almost like icing sugar, into the ocean, and literally to float away and to melt, to never be seen again. 100,000-year-old blocks of ice, never to be in existence again.
None of them have really grasped the reality, the importance, the urgency, the immediacy of the threat. And they all seem to think that they can get away with something which is far less than nature and people really need to be able to deal and cope with climate change over the next coming years. Climate change is no longer a thing we can believe will happen long time into the future. 3 things are what we need to have: ambition from developed countries, emission reductions, funding for action in developing countries, and action commitment in developing countries. If we see those 3 come together, then we will also get the rest of the elements, I'm sure.